Good morning, everybody. It is November 9th. This is only like take 3. It's all right. 5:30 in the morning. About 28 degrees. Yeah, it's cold.
But no wind.
Yeah, we don't have no wind, so it's not too bad, actually.
No.
So it is the opening day for Modern Gun here in Kentucky, so I'm going to bring the old smoke poles out and extend our range a little bit.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Better than 30 yards, I can tell you that. So we're out here at the main lease. We're going to do a setup that we've done already this season. Put Matt on the corner post, overlooking this entire field. I'm going to walk out about 75 yards on my way to my stand and dump some T69 out in the middle of that field to hold them up for Matt. I'm going to go get in the tower blind up in the food plot. Before I do that, I'm going to walk around all the way to the other side and hang some of those Tinks pads, those pre-soaked Tinks pads on the other side, so anything coming across should hold up right at about 100 yards for a pretty good shot. I've made that happen twice before out here throughout the years, so hopefully tonight's the same. We just need to see them moving.
That's right.
We haven't seen a lot of deer traffic coming in, but I did almost hit one. I was like, man, hunt's gonna be over early.
I don't see nothing. Never mind.
Yeah, boom, there's 2 deer right there. All right, so we're gonna get all set up, and you guys continue to hang in there with us, and hopefully we're bringing you some really good footage here before too long. Stay tuned. So just give everybody an update, kind of where we're at. It's right at 3 o'clock. And this morning, before legal at first light, had a fox down here at this feeder. It seen through my binos, but it obviously couldn't get him. Didn't have enough camera light. I heard something right underneath of me, kind of milling around. And then it was a spike. He worked his way out in the food plot and all the way across down to the feeder. So, right at about legal, a little after legal, he worked his way out of the field, back down in the woods, and then had one doe after the next. Probably seen at least 10 doe and fawn over the next couple hours, and then I had 3 down here at the feeder and milling around in the food plot. They kept looking back into the woods, and then I had a doe, a big doe, walk out. And she went over and fed at the feeder. The other 3 deer kept looking back in the woods. So I'm pretty sure she was probably with a buck. The buck, I think, stayed in the cover, in the concealment of the woods, while she went out and fed. Because she was only out about 10 minutes, and then she went right back in the same place she came out of. So yeah, pretty eventful. And then, I don't know, right at about 9:30, had a little 6-point come across. Went directly to that Tinks pad I have hanging in that tree at 84 yards. So picture perfect. Went over there, smelled it, broadside, walked off. So if that just would have been a shooter, it's been my story the whole season. If it would have just been a shooter. So a lot of perfect opportunities, just not the perfect deer. So Matt and I, we got out about 11 o'clock, ran into town, grabbed a bite to eat, went and changed my socks and stuff like that. Got phased out again. Got back in the tower blind here at about 1 o'clock. It is now 3 o'clock. So we have about 2.5 hours to go here. Really expecting everything to kind of ramp up here that last hour. So continue to hang in there, and hopefully we will continue to bring you some great footage. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're just wrapping up day 1 of modern gun season, and what time we get back in? About 1?
Yeah.
So
Took early breakfast or late breakfast. Got back in the woods.
yeah, so we got back in about 1 o'clock and literally didn't see anything. Didn't see anything for hours.
Quiet.
And then, you know, it was about what, 5 o'clock? That's, I guess, right about 5. Those doe are started coming out to the feeder. And so I'm sitting there and I was like, oh man, they're gonna get my scent cone, which they did, and they were fine. They knew something was up, but
Couldn't
figure
it out.
Yeah, they couldn't figure it out. So they kind of keep working across, and then there's a point in the field in that food plot that if a deer's standing in it, I'm basically sitting eye to eye with them. Like we're looking at each other. And so for at least 10-15 minutes, I was just bored. I couldn't move. I couldn't get the video camera moved. I couldn't do anything. I just didn't want them to blow that field and then take my chance with any bucks trying to come in and scent check those or whatever, not happening. So they finally all work across to my left, which I'm like, all right, perfect. Now, definitely out of my scent cone. I've got some maneuverability in that blind for some of the shade or windows that were closed. And so I'm like kind of getting relaxed. I'm moving around. I'm trying to move the camera over. And then out of nowhere, I was like,
Busted.
I was like, we went through all of that just to get busted when I shouldn't have got busted. So anyway, they take off. They come down to Matt. Matt, you got that video?
Yeah, they're about 30 yards out.
So they all run down. They get in front of Matt. And I'm going to try to show you on here. Well, actually, it ain't going to work because I got the light on. But anyway, we'll upload that here in a second. But so So those go by, nothing's going on, and then I hear a blow come from the woods across from me. I'm like, there's no way they're blowing at me. And here comes antlers. And so I didn't even grab the camera. I just grabbed my rifle. Of course, we're probably about 15 minutes left of legal. We probably didn't have much camera light anyway. I throw the scope on him, and I realized he was probably, I think he was a 6 point. You said you've seen it earlier.
I seen him earlier. It was 6 points, starting to crab claw at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, he was past his ears. He wasn't a bad deer.
He was,
but he comes out, and he's kind of trotting, and then he gets into the food plot, and he's literally limping like dragging. And then a doe comes out right behind him, and they head right down the mat.
Yeah, they jumped that little berm you have there.
Yeah.
Grass berm. But when they come with me, he was chasing her.
Okay.
And then they all kind of got tussled up with the other 9 does out in the field.
So I looked at him. I was like, just not one I want to shoot. I was like, man, Matt, I told him earlier, I was like, if you see one that you want, man, just pull the trigger on it. And so I text him real quick, buck. And about the time I text him, buck, I look up, and there's a bobcat came right out of that. I mean, it was dead on the trail of those 2 deer. And so I had the camera on at that point, and a video recorded the bobcat coming across. I don't know how great the quality is because it was pretty much.
He was moving.
It was right at dark.
It was getting dark.
Well, he came across the food plot kind of like weary, like he was checking, and he would pop his head up. So if it would have been, camera light out, it'd have been some awesome footage.
Right,
but
well, you said bobcat, so I just
Matt's,
everything else. I grabbed my binos. I'm looking for him. Like, where is he? By that time, my phone falls off, hits the ground, and I about had a moment. Then I realized that hey, it's not him. And I finally see him, and he come up about 40 yards from the blind I was in. It's pretty awesome. Enjoyed it. He ran all the deer off.
He's seen his first bobcat last year, and this is only the second time I've ever seen a bobcat, and first time I've ever got to record one. So
it's the second time I've seen a bobcat.
Yeah, but he gets pretty excited about bobcat. So I was like, bobcat. The hunt was over at that point. He was on a bobcat mission to check that out. So anyway,
it's not legal to shoot him yet. Another 2 weeks, I think. I have to look it
we're
up.
We're a little out for bobcat, but that buck just wasn't something I wanted to put my tag around. But all in all, that last 30 minutes, 45 minutes was pretty eventful. The rest of the day was pretty slow. We're going to put together a game plan. We're going to get right back at it tomorrow, and hope you guys continue to tune in. And as always,
wake up and hunt.
Wake up and hunt.